in preparation for Stormlight 5, I will not have time to reread the books. Paul, you said that you were going to. I hope you enjoy that. What, are you going to audiobook them or are you going to read them?
Yes. Yeah, I will be audio booking them.
Okay. So in preparation for that, or in preparation for Stormlight 5, at the end of each episode, all I want to do is a quick, less than 5 minutes little teaser trivia for you guys. And just, we're going to quick rapid fire. I don't want you to take too much time, like, thinking about it. Either you know the answer or you don't. Okay? So, there's going to be 4 questions for a total of 5 points. And each week we're going to start with one of the questions is 2 points.
Okay.
And
I was supposed to say, wait, are they all worth 1.25
1.25 points? Yes. No.
Okay.
It'll make sense in a second. I have it in front of me. I'm going to do my
Gotcha.
best to explain this. We're going to start with one of you 1 week, and then we're going to switch off to the other one the next week. So one of you will get to lead in this week, and then the other one will get to lead in the second week. There are pros and cons to going first or going second on different questions. Okay? So you'll get an advantage or a disadvantage on each week. We're going to start with Elliot. 4 questions. The first one is going to be, I'm going to give you the name of a chapter. You have to give me a rough explanation of what happened in that chapter. Okay? Number 2 is going to be our classic quote ID that we were doing last year. I will give you a quote. All you have to do is tell me who's talking. That's all. Just tell me who's talking. And that'll lead into like guesses of if you're going second, maybe that was a good thing that you went second because they said that what you were going to guess, and I'll tell them no. So, third one, I am going to read a review of a Cosmere book that you have read. You are going to tell me what they rated the book out of 5 and what book they're talking about. So that's 3 and 4. You're going to tell me what they rated it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and what book they're talking about. 5th is a trivia question. A good old fashioned, I'm going to ask you a trivia question. So that'll be like the tiebreaker. If we get to a 5th question, I'm just going to ask you a straight up trivia question. So, Elliot, you're going to go first.
All right.
And we're going to keep a tally of who won the week. So if you get 3 out of 5, then you get 1 point. And we'll carry that through to next week, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So, Elliot, this goes to you first. I'm going to give you a chapter name. You have to tell me a rough estimate, a brief description, and it'll be up to me whether I accept it or not, of what happened in the chapter. The chapter title is 3 Glyphs.
3 Glyphs. Chapter titles. I don't read those. 3 Glyphs. Well,
give it your best shot.
So Yasna has conversations with Shalon about research that she's doing, and she can't find what she's looking for. And Shalon has questions, but Yasna's not really giving the answers. Yeah, I have no idea.
Incorrect. Paul, go ahead.
Okay. My best guess is Navani is doing her prayer glyphs, and I think my best guess is that this is the chapter where Navani's doing her like prayer glyphs, and I think maybe Shalon or Renarin comes and asks about them, like, oh, why do you do this? And she explains and shares a little bit of insight into it, and this is why I do it, and the listener is like, oh no, that's kind of dumb, but then it makes a good point about like, oh well, it brings hope to her, so therefore it's a good thing.
Okay, incorrect. The intention
confidently though.
The intention of this quiz is to refresh ourselves on what actually happened in Stormlight, but I'm quickly realizing that we might just be gaslighting ourselves into talking to ourselves about things that never actually happened, like Paul just did.
Absolutely.
He was so confident about some scene that never happened. Okay. 3 glyphs for you for your refresher, gentlemen. It is the chapter where Kaladin straps old Parshendi bones to his shield and runs out in front of Bridge 4 to distract from the arrows and save on a bridge run. Chapter 62 of The Way of Kings. All right.
Never would have gotten there.
Paul.
Nope, not even close.
Paul.
All right.
Question 2. Here's your quote ID. All you have to tell me is who's talking.
Okay.
See that those people don't trample each other in their haste to get to safety, and keep the rest of the guards from attacking them. This isn't a revolt. Can't you hear the thunder and feel the wind picking up?
Just to be sure, we're just talking about Stormlight, or is this any Cosmere?
Any Cosmere is possible, but it is heavily weighted to Stormlight.
Okay.
I won't put other Cosmere off the board. Yes, I will read it again.
Okay. Can you read it one more time for me?
See that those people don't trample each other in their haste to get to safety, and keep the rest of the guards from attacking them. This isn't a revolt. Can't you hear the thunder and feel the wind picking up?
I feel really closely between 2 guesses. I'm actually going to go with Adolin.
Incorrect.
So is it over to Elliot?
Yep, it's over to Elliot.
Okay.
I'm bouncing back and forth from a bunch of scenes. I'm not super confident on this. I almost want to go a little out of the box and go like Elokar. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly when.
Final answer?
Sure.
Incorrect. The answer is Kaladin trying to get the Alethi farmers in from the high storm at the beginning of Oathbringer. He's trying to convince Parshman to let the humans in the barn as the high storm's coming.
Can I make a comment?
Sure.
I thought this was Way of Kings. I thought this was when they realized they've been betrayed. And I specifically thought this wasn't Kaladin because I thought the little comment of the wind is picking up. I thought that was going to be some neat little rereader illusion that Kaladin is sort of controlling the winds and doing his whole initial lashings thing. So my 2 guesses were Adolin and or Dalinar because I thought was the scene, but I was like, I don't think it's Dalinar. Anyways, that's all.
All right. Back to Elliot for question 3 and 4. I'm going to read you both a review of a Cosmere book that you have read. It like I said, any book is on the table that you've read, but it's heavily weighted to Stormlight. We're here for Stormlight refreshers. This is on Goodreads. I have waited too long to write the review that I don't even feel like describing it. I will say that it was a bloated read, full of repetitive self-loathing, self-condemnation, self-recriminations, and other self-stuff from the dictionary. The characters took forever to grow. I mean, they didn't grow/change until the last 100 or so pages. This is ridiculous. They were not interesting enough to carry the story for that long. I kept wishing and hoping that something great would happen. It's as simple as that. It never did. World building? Not nearly enough to give praise. I already own the next book, unfortunately. I'm in no rush to read it. Disappointed.
So it can't be Oathbringer, because the Sanderlanche of Oathbringer surely does not fail to at least grab somebody's interest or make them feel the book was worth it. Can't be Rhythm of War, because there's a hint in there about owning the next one.
Okay.
There's got to be, I guess I'm giving Paul the hints here, aren't I? Words of Radiance.
Okay.
It's got to be Words of Radiance. And which is still baffling, how they didn't think the end of that book was. Words of Radiance, they gave it 2 stars out of 5. 2 out of 5?
Out of 5.
2 out of 5.
All right, Paul?
Okay, so one clarifying question I want to ask. It started the beginning of the review saying he waited too long. Was it too long to read this or too long to write this?
I've waited too long to write this review that I don't even feel like describing it.
And he says the development doesn't happen until the last 100 pages.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk myself through this a little bit since Elliot's already made his guesses. So I desperately want to say the Well of Ascension. That's what I desperately want to say.
Okay.
But I know this is heavily weighted towards Stormlight, but it doesn't mean it's Stormlight.
Correct.
Like my final answer and my other thought is my final answer is that this is the Way of Kings.
Okay.
Actually, this is a review of the Way of Kings. And he gave it a really negative like feedback, but I'm gonna say that it's not maybe not quite that bad. I'm gonna go 3 out of 5. The Way of Kings and 3 out of 5.
All right.
Because if he bought the next book, he's at least somewhat confident, right? Whoever wrote this. Okay, anyways.
The correct answer is The Way of Kings for 2 out of 5 stars. So both of you have a point.
Okay.
Moving into our fifth question and last one. We have been told of 5 different wielders of Oathbringer, the sword, since the start of the Stormlight Archive. Name them. This goes to Paul first.
Okay, so 5 different wielders for Oathbringer, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gonna start with Dalinar.
Okay.
Okay.
It also, but for this question, if you get one, if you say someone who was not correct, that disqualifies your answer and you are incorrect.
Okay. So, okay. The thing is, I don't know if I can say the exact name. I believe
You can describe them.
the term was like the Sun Maker,
Okay.
Sun Bringer. So I'm pretty sure it was Sun Maker. That's what I would rest on, but not 100% sure. But it's like who Dalinar references way back in the past to like the Sun Maker
Okay.
as like an original Oathbringer person. I'm gonna say Sun Maker, Dalinar. Oh gosh. Okay, you said there's 5. There's been 5 wielders of Oathbringer. Gosh. Okay. Does this may get me out right away? I'm gonna say Thaddeus, because doesn't Dalinar give Thaddeus this Oathbringer?
Okay.
Okay, not out yet. Okay.
I wouldn't tell you if you were.
Okay.
I would let you
Okay,
get
but
5 first.
I have to say 5 names. Oh, okay, dang. Okay, I was taking that as a good
You can
sign.
stop whenever you want, but there are 5.
Okay, so okay, I want to throw one more name out there, and it's like if any one of them are wrong, I'm like, I mean, I'm not. I know I don't know 5, so maybe I should stop there. I'm not sure. I feel confident in the 3 I've said so far. I mean, going off of initial judgments, I should just stop at those 3. I can't think of another. Maybe. Oh, I. Man, this is probably all wrong. I'm gonna say Gavilar. I think that's wrong, but I'm gonna add that as a 4th name and stop there. I can't think of anyone else.
Okay, so you said Dalinar, the Sunmaker, Sadeas, and Gavilar were your 4.
Yes.
And you're stopping
Yes.
at 4. Okay, throwing to you,
Yes.
Elliot.
I can't think of anyone. Okay.
How long do they have to hold it to count as a wielder?
Seconds. A second.
Okay. Dalinar Sadeas, for sure. I agree with Paul about this Sunmaker character. I remember there being the talk about the origin. I'm not sure if that name is correct, so I'm gonna avoid it so I don't disqualify my answer here. So I'm gonna take that one off, even though I do think that that person, whatever their actual name is, was a wielder. And then I'm gonna add Adolin to this list. Dalinar Sadeas, Adolin. There's another, I want to say it's Kaladin. I feel like there's a time in Rhythm of War where he like holds it or is wielding it or whatever, but I'm not sure about that one, so I'm gonna take it off as well. So final answer, Dalinar, Sadeas, Adolin.
Okay. Paul, Gavilar never held Oathbringer, so you are disqualified Elliot,
Rest in peace.
I don't have Adolin down, but I believe you're correct. In Rhythm of War, I believe Oathbringer. Well, actually, no. In Words of Radiance, he assassinates Sadeas. Oathbringer appears next to him, and he hides it. I believe you're correct.
That's my thought. That's
So,
my thinking.
I'm going to give it to you. That both of those are correct, or that all three of those are correct. The Sunmaker was correct, and
Was that the correct name too?
yes, his
Like
real name
term
is
for him?
is Sadie or Sadie. Sadeas is named after him. Sadie the Sunmaker. I would have accepted either one of those.
Okay.
Tanelon's father is who Dalinar wins the blade from in the rift. And you could have actually
yes.
you could have actually said Tanelon as well, because he's the boy who picks up the blade to defend against Dalinar for like a split second.
Wow.
Sadeas and Amaram is on this list as well. Amaram uses Oathbringer in the battle at the end of Oathbringer the book. He dual wields shard blades against Kaladin.
I toyed with Amaram for a second, but couldn't remember the
I did
exact
too.
situation. Man, Oathbringer's been around the block.
I actually thought of Amaram pretty early, but I will say my reasoning was completely off. I thought there was a point like when Shallan sees that Amaram has her brother's shard blade. I thought there was somewhere in there that somehow Amaram had Oathbringer for a second too. But that's that is incorrect. So, okay, I'm proud of the Sunmaker at least.
Yeah, you should be.
One claim to fame here.
All right. So going into next week, we are 1-0 to Elliot, as he got that final question correct.
Full 2 points.
With the yes, it did, but the weekly points don't matter. It's just the cumulative points.
Okay.
So 1-0 to Elliot, and I hope you enjoyed your Stormlight Refresher. We'll be doing some of these quickly at the end of each episode. Anything else, gentlemen?
That's all. Excited to read more.
That was a ton of fun. Looking forward to next time. Absolutely.